How much of a factor does your physical health play into your mental health?
What's our plans for the future? Your plans for the future?
There's one piece of advice you could give to everyone in the world. What do you think it would be?
This is Spitballin with Colin.
Welcome back. Spitballin with Colin. Episode 5, I believe. Another dope guest for you guys. Fellow college baseball teammate, fellow captain. He is the spark plug on any team or any situation he's in. He brings the energy. Like no one I don't think I've ever met. It's in a good way. Tyler Rondeau, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Should be fun.
Should be fun. Let's dive right in. You grew up on Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Yep, born Mass.
You didn't go on the other side of the bridge though.
No, only for school.
So you're like upper Cape a little bit.
I'm actually before the bridge too, so I'm kind of a fake Cape Codder.
Yeah.
I like to call myself a Cape Codder though.
If you go to school over there, then that's real Cape Cod.
Yeah,
though.
I agree. As long as I'm going over the bridge for school and work and stuff like that, I agree. It's, I'm a real Cape Codder.
What's it like down there? Is it like different? Like winter wonderland right now? Is it a different world? Do you feel trapped a little bit?
It's a whole different lifestyle from one side of the bridge to the other,
Yeah.
and you really kind of feel it too. Especially the further down Cape you go, if you get towards like Truro and stuff like that, it's really a whole different lifestyle down there.
Yeah. Do you think that translates over to like attitudes people bring up? Like personally, anytime I go against like in a competitive field, the person from the Cape, like kind of just feel like they're D-bags. Like I kind of feel like they're assholes.
Yeah, you can kind of see it in like the upbringing and stuff like that too. Like it's definitely a lot of parts on Cape aren't full of poverty and stuff like that. A lot of parts, mostly rich older white people from the Cape, and if they have kids and stuff like that, they kind of have that kind of self-entitled, atmosphere to it.
Not you though.
No, I grew up a grinder.
You think that's credit to your parents or just like?
Yeah, I mean, I watched my mom and dad struggle when I was younger.
Yeah.
And then I kind of got that same work ethic from my dad, watching him go through everything he went through and stuff like that, fighting for a promotion and stuff like that, trying to quit this, quit that, and just keep grinding out Sullivan Tire. And then now he's making 6 figures, and that's where I get that work ethic from.
Yeah. You don't get that in upper class Cape family usually.
No. You get your money when you can.
Yeah. I mean, it's like tough to grow up probably grinding, just seeing like your parents struggle. You're like, you can't really like internalize that as a kid, I'm sure. But then you see them make it, and then you grow up, and then it's like, oh, like this is how the world is. You got to work.
Yeah, I remember when my dad told me he was signing me up to wash rims at Sullivan Tire, and I was like, I'm doing what now? And I realized I was like, oh, there's no free handout, so hey, like you gotta work to get your stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing sports, it's a big outlet for you. Sports.
Sports has always been. I'm still in sports now, even after baseball. I'm in 2 flag football leagues. I played 3 summer baseball leagues this year. Sports was always just a way to express myself, and I was kind of like you see it on the field, as you said. I like to be a spark plug. Yeah. I like to have a lot of fun, have a lot of energy on the field, and my style of play, I hope translates towards that.
Yeah, I mean, like you're in the locker room, like you're just like on the other team. Like I remember Matty, my brother, was on the episode last week. Check that one out. He was playing against you in Legion. You were at shortstop. You're just your typical self, loud and proud. And he starts talking some smack, and I'm on the fence. I'm like, oh my God, who is this kid? Everybody in our dugout's like, this kid sucks. Rondo? Was that like Rajon Rondo? Like, who is this kid? This kid sucks. And then we never really know who you were. And then you came to Bridgewater, and we're like, nah, this kid's actually cool. I picture that's what like Marcus Smart's like.
I could probably see that too, or like even like someone like who was the guy? Lance Stevenson.
Yeah.
He used to just be a little past the LeBron. Because I remember it took Matty a year to tell me that story. He was like, yeah, I remember playing you in Legion. He goes, I used to hate you when you were younger. I was like, yo, that's crazy. And now we ended up being roommates for 2 years and still very close friends. Still hang out to this day.
Yeah. It's definitely like your personality is very, very bubbly.
Yeah.
But like you need that. You need someone like that on a team or just like in your friend group.
Yeah.
Like, because like any moment can go sour, and then you're like, nah, this kid's electric. Like, oh, Rondo's coming. All right, let's have some fun. And it's just like I remember Coach talking to me because I was a captain before you were captain.
Yep.
And I remember Coach being like, I think I'm gonna make Rondo a captain. And it was like at that point you hadn't really played that much. Like you didn't get a lot of playing time because we had a senior that kind of like came in and actually started playing well and showing out. So, like, you hadn't really got that much playing time, but he was just his personality alone, that's what we need. Like, we need somebody like that. Positivity, good locker room guy. And it was just like, you get recognized for that.
Yeah, for sure. I've definitely always tried to be the loudest out of the group, but I always wanted to lead by example.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to do that with my play.
Yeah.
Especially when we were first starting out during like during the captain's practices and stuff like that, like just diving for every ball I could try to get to, hustling my ass off, doing anything, trying to take good hard swings, making solid contact in the cages, and just trying to be, someone that younger guys can look up to. 'Cause I had a guy like that at Roger Williams, someone that I looked up to, and I really wanted to emulate the way he played and the way he kind of set the tone for everyone. I looked up to something like that, and I kind of brought that over to Bridgewater.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. You need that, especially for the young guys, to see, like, okay. Because as like a freshman, you're almost like starstruck, I feel like, when you get to a college baseball team. You're just like, oh, man, look at these guys. This is different than high school. Like, you came from what divisions born? 3. Like, I'm D2, and it's like some of these guys, like, transferred from D1, D2 schools. I mean, granted, it's Bridgewater State. Like, we had 5 wins one year. It's not, like, legit. But, you still had guys that were pretty solid or big dudes. So it's like, damn, I got to, like, what am I going to do? And then you just start following with the older people are doing.
That's the thing. It's like, high school baseball and collegiate baseball is a big difference, especially if you're just playing in a public high school setting.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember I went into my freshman year, I was the best kid, if not one of the best kids on my team. I weighed $140 maybe going into my freshman year of college. That first fall scrimmage, I remember playing, I was like, dude, these guys are that much faster and that much stronger than me. And you kind of figure out, you're kind of the runt of the litter. You gotta do something to show out.
Yeah. Makes you want to work harder so you can actually play. Like, sitting on the bench, like, you come from a high school where you're playing a lot and you're sitting on the bench like, damn, this is freaking sucks.
That was the first year I ever got, like, serious spoken in the weight room. After that freshman year, I played 6 or 7 games. All because down in Florida, the guy that I was starting at shortstop ended up getting caught drinking while we were down in Florida. And I was the backup shortstop. They plugged me in. I played the rest of Florida and then ended up not hitting my way out of the lineup. And then after that, I was like, all right, I got to get bigger, faster, and stronger for that next year. I started off at $145, and I came in my sophomore year weighing 165.
Yeah.
And then
respect.
Yeah, ever since
that's something I'll never understand because I've always been bigger.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to lose weight. But like so many people I meet now are like trying to add weight. I'm like, I don't know that struggle. For me, it's like just eat less. It's just like eat more food, which is easy. But I know that struggle just like from what Keanu's going through and a couple other friends. Like just like, we want to be bigger, faster, stronger, and it's so hard.
I was blessed, though. Roger Williams, honestly, shout out to them because they had one of the best cafeterias of all time. My morning regimen was I'd have 6 eggs, I'd have some yogurt, some toast, and then I'd have 3 servings of steak and cheese, no bread for lunch.
Sheesh.
And then I'd mix in stir fry for dinner, chicken, enchiladas, stuff like that. And then I was just really trying to bulk up.
That'll do it. It's a lot of freaking protein.
Yeah, it was it got to the point where after breakfast I really didn't want to eat no more. I was kind of just like force feeding myself.
Yeah.
And then like nowadays, like I don't have to train that hard and stuff like that, so I'm kind of keeping back on the calories and stuff. Like I look forward to eating. It's not like, damn, I gotta go eat my steak right now, or I gotta eat half a pound of chicken right now.
Yeah. That's the tough part of like adding weight or trying to cut weight. Like you have to start paying attention a lot more to what's going in your body.
Yeah,
it's
for
tough.
sure. And like just making sure like you get the right dose, like everything. Like you can't be eating McDonald's. Like it has to be healthy food, healthy calories.
Yeah. Like good added weight.
Yeah, for sure.
So being this positive guy, spark plug type guys, you find it's like tough at times, like to bring that energy. Like say, just as an analogy for baseball, and we can translate it over to life. But analogy for baseball, like maybe you're struggling on the day, 0 for 3, like maybe made an error, like just a tough day in general. How tough is it, and what do you do to like be like, all right, I still need to be here for the guys. I still need to show up as myself.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I mean, I remember it was my junior year. We were at Salem State. I think it was our first game back from Florida, first game of conference play, and I was real gassed up, ready to go. First at bat, struck out on 3 pitches, went down looking. Next at bat, struck out again, except I actually put up a good fight this time, and I was like, damn, I have to do something to contribute to this team right now. And whether, you're doing it on the field, but like you can also do it with your mouth too, and bring other people up. I know, I remember Matty McDonald that pinned the triple in the gap.
Bomb.
Yep. And just giving us the lead. And, I was just so excited for him and stuff like that. And I remember I was trying to be one of the first guys out there to greet him, let him know like what a good job he did, and just trying to like little stuff like that, where you don't have to always show out on the field every day. Is it nice? Yeah, it's definitely a perk, but you can also do it with your mouth and with your leadership.
Yeah, just do like your actions, not just like how you perform. I mean, in baseball, you're never gonna go 3 for 3 every day, make every diving play.
Even Mike Trout strikes out two times a day.
Yeah.
Like he has bad days too. Everyone does. It's baseball. It's a game of failure.
It is. It's so tough. It's like great to like grow up with and rationalize into life, but it is so tough. Like you failing 70% of the time if you're good.
Exactly.
So.
And that's the guys that make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, exactly.
The guys that don't are 1 for 10.
Yeah. So just growing up, like even if you're a kid, like you're succeeding at a high school or like little league, say you're going 4 for 10, and then you get to the bigger leagues like college, and you're going 2 for 10. You're like, damn, I'm not bad.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy too how quick you can kind of put your head in a funk.
Oh
like, say
yeah.
You have one bad game, and all of a sudden say you boot a ball on the field the next day, and then you strike out 3 times the next day, and all of a sudden now you're on a skid, and you don't really know how to get out of it. Now you're trying to force your way out or swing your way out, so you get into bad counts and stuff like that. Now you're swinging at junk in the dirt. It's it's a real, for lack of a better term, it's a mind fuck, honestly.
Yeah, and then like you're like, all right, what's coach thinking of me? What's my teammates thinking of me? Like, I don't know about how you felt, but like as a captain, it's like, damn, I'm 0 for 3 today, or like I just pitched and I let up 4 runs. Like, I'm a captain, I'm supposed to be that guy. That's how at least how I felt. So then you go out there and it's like, wow, like that plays with you.
Exactly, like because I know you do too, and I kind of feel the same way about it. As you always try to lead by example.
Yeah.
And going, say, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks, isn't leading by example on our standards.
No.
Like you always have to shine out. You always try to shine out for your guys.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you say is the biggest plot twist of your life? Like something unexpected that was like could have been tough, could have been good. But what was the biggest plot twist? And you're like, all right, you didn't see it coming.
I had my junior year, the biggest worst week of my life. So it started off, my grandmother ended up passing away. 2 days after that, my dog ended up passing away, who was like my childhood dog, but still a big loss. And then
tough.
Another 3 days after that, me and my at the time girlfriend ended up breaking up. So it was a lot of just like mental struggle going on. This was also during the baseball season. I wasn't playing too well at the time, and just a lot of emotions kind of run through your head.
Yeah.
And I remember it was the game at Brandeis. I watched on my laptop. I just remember bawling my eyes out, thinking about everything. And I wasn't at the game because I just had the funeral for my grandmother. And I just remember kind of watching the game and just bawling my eyes out, wishing I could be a part of that game.
Yeah.
I remember losing on, I think it was a pass ball or something like that. It was a close game. McGrath ended up pitching a very good game. And I just remember wanting to be out there the whole time. But I remember going to practice that next day. Booted a ball here. Coach Joey didn't say anything about that. I kind of felt all that emotion build up in me. Made a couple plays in a row, and having all the guys just like coming up to you and just like, hey, like, we're all here for you.
Yeah.
And, like, that's the biggest thing I took away from sports is the camaraderie of it all.
Yeah.
And having people have your back, whether you're down in the dumps or you're on your high horse.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for baseball for me. But yeah, that was the probably hardest time in my life.
That's tough. Tough. And it's like with school, with baseball practice, with lifts, like you almost don't have a chance to like internalize it.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like it happens so fast, and it feels like you're in a train going 110 miles an hour when you really just want to be on a bike going 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everything moves so fast, and you got to kind of slow everything down, take a deep breath, and grasp everything.
Yeah. Definitely, like sounded like it hit home. Like when you weren't playing with the boys, like maybe if you didn't like consciously like internalize your emotions. You like subconsciously, like it hit you.
That's the other thing too. Like when an idle mind's a dangerous mind. Like when you're alone with your thoughts like that, like it can really sneak up on you.
Yeah.
Whether that's the other thing I like to do now is like I always like to be doing something. I don't like to be sitting on my couch on my ass the whole day. Like I want to go out, go to the gym. I like working. I'd rather work 50 hours a week than sit on my ass for the whole week.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing. Just keeping a busy mind.
Yeah. I mean, I think being busy is important, and I also think like you need like at least some time to deep breath Like, just relax. I mean, it could just be before bed every day. It's not like it has to be like, all right, I need a vacation.
Yeah,
but
for
like,
sure.
Like, to sort through your day. And, like, for you, it was, like, sorting through your week, being like, okay, you know, this is how I feel. I feel like shit. Like, it's just so awesome for you to be able to, like, admit that, like, you broke down to tears. Like, I feel like as men, like, that's so tough for us to be like, yeah, dude, I cried.
100%.
Like, any normal person should cry in that circumstance. Like, God, that's tough. So it's like, but it's like, you're watching the game and saying, I want to be out there with my guys, though.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. Like, this sucks, but that makes me feel good.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, that's what I knew that was going to give me relief is going to practice the next day. Like, I knew I wasn't going to make it to the game. I remember watching it on my laptop, and I was like, Jesus, this sucks. Like, I'm, sitting in this room. I got no one else next to me.
Yeah.
I'm in my dorm room by myself, just kind of emotions flooding through my head. I think I had an assignment due later that night, too, and I was just... everything just kind of, hits you at once, and I was like, if I could just, go out and just talk to people and stuff like that and, like, relieve some of that stress.
Yeah. I've honestly had such a... not eerily similar experience in terms of, like, I've had, like, a lot of my loved ones leave me, but it was just like, I tore my labrum in my right shoulder my sophomore year of baseball. Now I was sitting in my dorm room, and I lived in a 7-person suite, and nobody was there. It was only me, and I just remember, like, breaking down. I had a panic attack, and at that point, like, I never heard of a panic attack, and I didn't know what the hell a panic attack was. All I knew was I couldn't breathe and my heart was beating. I'm like, am I dying? Like, and then you just start racing with thoughts. Like, I looked it up. I'm like, what's going on? They like lay on the cold ground. So I literally took my shirt off and I'm laying on the ground in my dorm room, just like hyperventilating because I don't know what's going on. But it's just like, I don't know. And then you just know that like your boys are at baseball practice right now, but you can't do anything because you're in a sling for the next month and a half because you just tore your shoulder. Like, that was tough.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, especially like when you have like a panic attack like that. I mean, it feels like your heart is hitting the wall across from you. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that you feel all that energy, you feel all that weight on your shoulders, and I was happy that I was able to play with you, along with try to lead a team with you.
Yeah.
And I know I definitely couldn't have done it without you. I couldn't have done it without Maddie, Trev, Kearns. I know I'm forgetting a couple guys, but like all those guys, like having teammates and stuff like that, like you must have been killing yourself not being able to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you must have been itching so bad to try to get out there and try to contribute something.
Yeah.
It's tough just to sit there and watch all that happen.
I mean, that was the biggest plot twist in my life. Like, I literally identified myself as a baseball player. That's where I got my identity. So when you take someone's identity away, dude, I just crumbled.
Exactly.
I crumbled. I thought I would have had to check into an institution, no lie. Like, I was bad. Like, started seeing a therapist and just got straightened out. But, like, that was, like, the rock bottom. But, I couldn't have been a leader, couldn't have been doing this if it wasn't for that. So it's like those moments suck, but they make you so much better in the long run. As long as you're willing to put in the work.
For sure.
I feel like it could crack you the wrong way if you let it.
Exactly. Get the best of you and stuff like that. I remember our last game together was at Fishburg. I remember crying after the last out. I remember just kind of tearing up a little bit. I was like, damn, I've played baseball my whole life. What the hell am I going to do now?
Yeah.
I can't sit here and fix tires all day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like, you can still play baseball, but it's like, this is the end of the road competitively.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
When I'm playing summer ball, it's just fun.
Exactly. Like, I mean, most of the time for me, when I was growing up playing summer ball, I was either hungover or something like that half the time, or like, I'm like, damn, it's hot as hell right now. But like, now, like, when I started growing up and stuff like that, I kind of got a better appreciation for it. You know what I mean? Like, these at-bats, they go away after a little bit. After that, you're just playing men's league and stuff like that, or slow pitch softball.
Yeah. Maybe getting gypped of an MVP in flag football, but that's controversy being investigated right now.
Yep. That's definitely a story for another time.
Yeah. Whew. That was good. But back to the MVP conversation. Like, how do you feel?
I was
let
me tell you,
you're putting out your best effort. Like, I guess you don't want to compare to other people, but like, you're showing out.
See, that's the thing too, because like I know I was the rookie of the league. I tied for offensive player of the year. I had 5 more touchdowns than the other guy. And I'm tied for offensive player of the year. And I'm like, how the hell is this even a thing? I had 6 games with multiple touchdowns. 3 of them I had 3 touchdowns or more in. And I'm like, God damn. Even like on the defensive side of the ball, like I was 4th in picks. Yeah. Like, how am I not winning this MVP trophy right now? But then like you look at kind of guys around the league too and stuff like that. Like, it's guys voting around the league. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm the new guy here.
Yeah.
I didn't earn my tires yet, you know what I mean? I didn't earn my stripes, per se. But, like, you know, I don't know, hopefully later in the future I get another one.
Yeah. I mean, keep going, I would assume, with those stats.
I hope so. I mean,
There's, like, earning you keep.
yeah, exactly. And I missed one game, too. I feel like if I played just one more game, like one more touchdown or something like that, or like one more 2-point conversion, like I'm there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, honestly, flag football was the time of my life this year. Like, that was so fun. Even, like, towards the end of the year, like, we just had our Super Bowl 2 weeks ago. We were playing in it, and the ground still had snow on it, and it was ice solid. But it was the funnest time, just slipping around and having fun out there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, it reminded me when I was little playing at Pop Warner when it started snowing. When I was, like, 8 years old, I was like, wow, this is freaking awesome.
Yeah. When I played Pop Warner, I always loved practices in the mud. I don't know why.
See, I was a quarterback, so I used to hate that stuff. But, like, at the time, like, when we do, like, little drills and stuff like that, like, we do the fumble drill in the mud and stuff like that, and you're just rolling around, like, you know, you're in a pigsty. But, like, when I got older, when I was playing in high school, and it was, you know, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, there's snow on the ground or something like that, or it's pissing rain out, and I'm, like, trying to throw the ball. I can't even grip the football right now. My hand's freezing.
Yeah.
But, like, as a player, like, you got to appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're an athlete your whole life doing anything athletic, I think it just makes you feel good.
For sure.
Just movement in general in the human body makes you feel good.
Yeah.
All right. One more question. How do you, and it could be like subconscious, like it might just give you enjoyment, but how do you like get enjoyment out of just like the little things? Like just cleaning a car, spinning tires, like just, like I feel like some people are like, I need to be on a phone. Crazy stat. And I think we brought it up last week, but like the average high schooler right now is spending 10 to 14 hours on a phone.
See, I remember listening to this last week, and I remember hearing that stat from, I think it was Maddie, and I was like, you gotta, or no, it was from Kiana, right?
Oh yeah, maybe.
And I was like, you gotta be absolutely kidding. So, I have a little cousin, right? And he's honestly like one of my favorite kids in the world, but damn does he gotta put the phone down, dude, once in a while. Like, it is crazy. We'll be having Thanksgiving dinner, right? We'll eat and get stuff like that, and immediately right to the iPad, just playing Balloons Tower Defense. I'm like, go spend time with your family and stuff like that. Like, granted, he's young, you know, he doesn't understand that, but like, for me, like, you know, I grew up climbing trees and stuff like that and playing sports. Like, the kids this generation is a lot different than ours.
Mm-hmm.
And generation after that, I'm sure is going to be a lot different from them.
Yeah.
But so on and so on. I was looking at the kids 12 hours on their phone, like, oh my God, like, this is a pandemic right now. Like, this honestly might be worse than COVID. Like, kids, like...
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't want to know the ramifications of what happens down the road.
Mm-hmm. So, going back to your question was, how do I get enjoyment?
Yeah, like, how, like the simple things, just working with your hands make you happy. Like, do you have any ambitions, like, that you want to, like, continue to work towards? So,
for those that don't know, I'm a general service mechanic. I do tires, oil, alignments, at Sullivan Tire.
You can do your sales pitch if you want.
Exactly.
Sullivan Tower,
So,
high-end tire, high-end Mass.
55 Airport Road. You know, if you have any business, shoot me a call. Shoot my old man a call. We'll get you in. But yeah, so I've been doing that since I was 13. I started washing rims. I didn't touch tires until I was like 15, 14 or so. So started doing that. Then I eventually upgraded to oil, doing oil changes and all that stuff. And there's a certain like gratitude you get from it, especially. So I have this guy. He comes in every 2 weeks just for air pressure checks. We do a free air pressure check. Like, he can obviously go down to the Cumbies, spend $1.50 or whatever, just put air in his tires, but he comes down to us because he likes our service and whatnot. And every time he gives me a $20 tip. He comes in every 2 weeks, summer, winter, rain, snow, and that's the type of love I have for it, is guys recognizing that, you know, this kid's freezing his balls off right now, and it's a blizzard outside, but, you know, he's still out here pumping my air. He's still climbing under a car with snow on the ground, checking the spare tire for him, grabbing his pliers, making sure everything's all right for him and stuff like that. That's the type of love I have for it. I mean, that's the type of enjoyment I get for it. It's like other people just realizing, like, hey, like, listen, you gotta say a shitty job right now or something like that. Like, you know, here's something to cheer you up. It's like people helping people. And it's kind of like that respect factor.
Yeah. No, yeah. I don't know if people like that work jobs, like, you get that amount of respect. Like a janitor or like a service guy, like, or just like waiters and waitresses, like they're serving you to make your life easier, so your car's not breaking down, so you're getting your food and your order right, so you get to go into these clean restrooms. but like I feel like they never get acknowledged.
That's the thing. Like some of the most underappreciated people I feel like in the world are like baristas, or like coffee people per se. All like general service stuff, so like waitresses, barbers especially.
Yeah.
If you don't go, like I tip my barber personally. My haircut's $22 or something like that. I give him $15 tip every time.
Wow, good
Because
man.
I like to make sure he's taken care of too. And I know he cuts hair out of the office too and stuff like that, try to get extra money. But like I want him to realize like I appreciate the work he does.
Yeah.
And I tell him every time too. I go to him 2 weeks. Armando down at damn Armando, I'm sorry, I'm feeling you right now. Champions in Bridgewater.
Oh, you still go up there?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Yeah, shout out to them. They just opened like probably 4 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. You get one word that like you want to live by, you think the world should live by. Like I only asked this question because you just said appreciation. I think that's a really good word. Like if people just appreciate it a little more. What's one word you think could like help make the world a better place?
Just love. And if not love, respect. I mean, you have a lot of people like, even nowadays, like you can't even hold a conversation with some people. Like it's not, especially when politics comes into play, man.
Oh, it's terrible.
It is crazy. Like it's everyone cutting off. No one gets their point across. It's this, it's that. It's yelling back and forth. Like there's no real like debates anymore.
Yeah.
It's just arguing.
Yeah.
And if you have that love, compassion, and respect, like you can actually have a full conversation with someone. And you may not agree with someone's point, but you can respect their point. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to, yell at them and degrade them and go off script from the debate. Like, you know what I mean? You can actually have a full conversation with someone without screaming at someone.
Yeah. It's like they're not even listening. It's like, oh, my point's not getting heard. Like, I'm not listening to you. Like, it is crazy. And I think you do need that compassion to see the other person's point of view. You'd be like, all right, I disagree, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, like when we first, like George Washington days, like whoever came in second in the presidential voting, that was your vice president.
Is that really a thing?
Could you imagine Donald Trump being the vice president right now?
That
But like,
that's
like as crazy, like as funny as like that wouldn't work. But it's like that was the principle. Is like, okay, if I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican and I'm president, like my not enemy, but who I was running against is below me, and it's like, okay, that way you have both views in the.
Imagine that, dude. Like Donald Trump, like the whole campaign, like called him like Sleepy Joe and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and like all of a sudden, like next day, voting ends. You lose. That's your boss.
Yeah, like I feel like that'd be complete. That won't never happen again. But if I was ever president, I would. Like I want someone who's just gonna challenge me constantly. But I don't think people like being challenged because they like their comfort in their views. But
When did they get rid of that law?
I have no clue.
That is
I read it like a long time ago.
wow. That is
And, like
crazy.
it was just like you're almost like stuck with it.
Just every day for 4 years, just like the guy that beat you, just like he's under you that whole time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So then you have to work together.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's like.
And like, you actually have to man up and like do a job. You know what I mean? Like you have to run a country.
I mean, that's the whole point. Is you're running this country for the betterment of your people. If you're just like following your one party or your one agenda, like it's not gonna be nice.
That's the other thing. What is the president's job title? It's a social servant, right? Or what?
Yeah, something like that.
So, yeah, exactly. But like, they all got their own agendas, man.
Yeah, this is kind of like leading a team, leading a
Exactly.
country.
It's crazy. I feel like the presidency is such like I don't want to say non-important job, but it's like so outdated. I feel like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to make light of it because honestly, being the president is you have a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
Imagine like the stuff you must get briefed about. Like,
it's absurd.
you ever seen the pictures of Obama before he went into office?
Oh,
and
yeah.
when he came out.
He aged like 20 years.
Oh my god! Like, imagine the stuff that guy had to hear about.
Yeah,
It's crazy, but like, people make too light of it, where it's just slander,
yeah,
and no one's ever happy. Like, I feel bad for whoever's the president nowadays.
yeah.
Like, no matter who gets elected, like you're gonna get yelled at. You're just gonna get ridiculed the whole time you're in
Yeah.
there. I think Barack was the last person that everyone actually liked that came out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not everybody's gonna like you, but it was like I feel like he was the most well-rounded.
Yeah.
Like,
The other thing that like helped him a lot too is like he was a fantastic speaker.
yeah,
Politically wise, I'm kind of on each side of the fence. I feel like I lean a little right, but politically wise, I'm pretty neutral for the most part. And he was honestly one of my favorite people to listen to. I remember I had to listen to one of his speeches for public speaking class, and I had to do a synopsis on it and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I honestly got a lot out of it.
yeah. It's a good figurehead to lead a country. I was also bringing up this today, kind of like a side note, but it's like, why are all our presidents old and white?
That's just, I think
Like-
the minimum age is what, like 45 or
35.
something? 35.
35.
Really?
Which is like, all right, Tom Brady's our next president, and he's only 40, 45, you know? But it's just like,
It's crazy.
why
that-
are they all like over 60 or 5
Yeah.
or 70? It's like our generation, or the majority of the population in the country is under your age. Like, I don't
Exactly.
know how you identify with that.
It's crazy. The other thing too is like all the people that like still receive votes. Like Kanye will always get like 1,000 votes and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like Tom Brady, like all of Boston votes for Tom Brady to become president and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing too. Like these guys are, you know, for lack of a better term, out of their prime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're not obviously culturally hip to like current events and stuff going on. They only can hear it from, you know, people below them and stuff like that, and people
Yeah.
growing up.
Who's ever briefing them?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they've earned their right to be there. Like, they've definitely had like a solid track record, but it's like you need your cabinet or the people who are around you should be multifaceted. Like, you should have a young person in your cabinet.
Diverse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy freaking world we live in.
It is. I think there's going to be a radical change. I was listening to some podcasts, and they're like, the age that's coming up is like, all they want to do is just drive change and just like do some crazy things. Could get hectic.
I know. So the other thing that I know you and Maddie were talking about this the other day, the metaverse.
Yeah.
Dude, there's like games now where you can just live a whole second life.
Yeah.
Like, you ever seen like the it's called like bit mode or something like that on your phone? You can pick what country you live in, what gender you are, and you can pay like an extra $3, like hit on your teacher coming up through high school and stuff like that. Like, say you want to like rob places and see how that goes. You can become a burglar and stuff like that. Like, that's the other thing too. Like, I feel like it's like people gotta live the life they're given. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can't you can't escape through this
Your
virtual
phone.
world. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You can't escape through your phone.
They're making it seem that way.
Yeah, it is crazy. Someone's gonna do something about it. Like even TikTok.
I feel like it'll just naturally happen. Like, there'll probably be a blowout, maybe a war, but like I feel like
Yeah,
everything like returns to some sort of order.
for sure.
It's like if you go 0-3 for baseball and then 3 for 3 the next week, you're only hitting 500, but it's like you're gonna probably hit where your level
Yeah,
is.
it's like you're gonna plateau at some point.
Yeah. Well, Rondo, it's been fun. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Maybe catch you again sometime.
Sure, I'm for it.
Thank you. Peace, guys. If you want a good oil change, head down to Hyannis, Sullivan Tire. Tune in next week. We got another stellar guest. Appreciate you.
How much of a factor does your physical health play into your mental health routine?
What's our plans for the future? Your plans for the future?
One piece of advice you could give to everyone in the world, what do you think it would be?
This is Spitballin with Colin.